Is this the end of Rachel Zegler? From Disney's darling to a global joke, how did the girl chosen to play Disney's very first princess become one of the most hated people on the internet? Not in a dramatic twist. Not overnight, but slowly, painfully, predictably. She was supposed to be the next big thing. Instead, she became the punchline. A running joke, a symbol of everything people are tired of, and let's be honest, at this point, are you even surprised? What we're witnessing isn't just a fall, it's a free fall, and there's no parachute in sight. And the real question is, will she ever bounce back? Let's rewind a bit. Disney was already limping. Flop after flop, streaming losses, accusations of pandering instead of storytelling, and then came what was supposed to be their saving grace, the live-action remake of Snow White, one of the most iconic animated films of all time, the film that started it all. The original 1937 classic that launched Walt Disney into legend. But instead of being a triumphant return to form, it became the face of everything going wrong. Snow White, according to current estimates, is already expected to lose around $115 million. Yes, you heard that right. A movie that hasn't even made it to theaters is already being labeled a financial catastrophe. And that's not just speculation, it's based on leaked reports, insider predictions, and early audience reactions that range from disinterested to outright hostile. It's rare for a film to burn this badly before release. Test screenings reportedly fell flat. The online backlash is massive, and Disney, silent. The marketing campaign, once a hopeful launchpad, is now a graveyard of awkward interviews, controversial clips, and damage control that came way too late. Box office analysts are calling it one of the riskiest moves in Disney's recent history, and the studio is quietly preparing for the worst. Delays, re-edits, even a potential quiet release to minimize further embarrassment. And to top it off, Snow White isn't just any movie. This isn't a random mid-budget experiment. This is supposed to be the remake of the film that started it all. Disney's very first animated feature. The cornerstone of the entire Disney brand, which makes this collapse not just a flop, but a symbolic one. A financial, cultural, and brand-damaging implosion that's unfolding in real time. And right at the center of it all still is Rachel Zegler. She wasn't just the lead actress, she was supposed to be the future, the chosen one. The charismatic, young, vibrant star who would carry Disney into a new era. She was their Snow White, their reset button, their golden ticket. But instead, she became the detonator. Rachel Zegler, from star to scandal, let's be real. Rachel Zegler isn't just an actress, she was a symbol. A symbol of what Disney wanted to become. More progressive, more modern, more in tune with the new generation. She wasn't just cast, she was handpicked to represent the company's direction. But what followed was a PR disaster of epic proportions. Instead of winning people over, she did the exact opposite. The moment she started doing interviews, things spiraled out of control. She called the original Snow White creepy. She said her version wouldn't be waiting around for a prince, that her character doesn't need saving, that the 1937 film is outdated and problematic. Now, there's a way to modernize a character without alienating fans. But Rachel didn't walk that line, she erased it. Instead of inviting audiences into a fresh take, she basically said, if you like the original, something's wrong with you. And people noticed. Suddenly, Rachel Zegler wasn't seen as the brave, talented lead, she was seen as smug, arrogant, out of touch. Like she was too good for the very movie she was hired to lead. And it didn't stop there. She took every opportunity to bash the story she was supposed to represent, to make herself sound above it, and fans, they weren't having it. Because no one likes to feel talked down to. No one likes being told they're wrong for loving something nostalgic, and Rachel made that mistake over and over again. How to tank a career before your 25th birthday, imagine this. You're cast as the lead in a $300 million Disney movie. You're handed the keys to the kingdom, literally. You have the full support of the studio, a character with legacy, and a fan base that wants to root for you. And instead of embracing that, you spit in the hand that feeds you. You attack the very fans who wanted to love you. You degrade the story that made your role possible. And somehow you expect applause. That's not bold, that's self-destructive. And in an industry that thrives on likability, Rachel Zegler became Hollywood's cautionary tale. Behind-the-scenes drama, Rachel vs. Gal Gadot, as if the public backlash wasn't enough. Rumors started surfacing of tension behind the scenes. Allegedly, Rachel and her co-star Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, did not get along. Sources close to the production claimed that the two couldn't be in the same room during press events. That the tension was so bad, Disney PR had to separate them during the promo tour. And if you're wondering what kind of atmosphere that creates behind the scenes, let's just say it doesn't exactly scream magic. Losing the audience to losing everything, there's a rule in entertainment. If you lose the audience, you lose everything, and Rachel didn't just lose them. She repelled them. The internet turned her into a meme. Clips from her interviews went viral, but for the wrong reasons. Sarcastic TikToks, brutal YouTube commentary, Twitter threads calling out every tone-deaf statement. She became the face of the problem. Not because of her acting, but because of her attitude. She didn't come across as someone grateful for the opportunity. She came across as someone embarrassed by it, and in Hollywood, that's the kiss of death. Because here's the truth, no one is bigger than the audience. The Dubai disappearance escaping reality after the Backlash peak. Rachel did what many celebrities do, she vanished. More specifically, she reportedly fled to Dubai, a quiet retreat, a mental reset, but also a way to escape the heat. And that move only added fuel to the fire, because while the internet was burning, Rachel was posting filtered selfies, aesthetic brunches, and curated getaways. It didn't feel like a reset, it felt like a disconnect, and audiences could feel it. Can she come back from this? In Hollywood, nothing is ever final. Careers rise, they fall, they resurrect. But forgiveness isn't guaranteed. Rachel's image has taken a hit, one that might be too deep to repair. Not just because she made mistakes, but because she never really acknowledged them. No apology, no humility, no self-awareness. And without that, there's no comeback arc, just a slow fade out. So is Rachel Zegler the end of Disney? It sounds dramatic, but think about it. If Snow White crashes and burns as predicted, it won't just be a bad movie. It'll be a symbol of everything people think is wrong with modern Hollywood, prioritizing messaging over story. Alienating legacy fans, casting for optics, not fit, and letting ego lead the narrative. Rachel Zegler isn't the only one responsible, but she's become the face of it, not because she's a bad actress, but because she didn't know when to stop talking, because she didn't understand the power of respect for the role, for the audience, and for the legacy she was stepping into. Final thoughts, Disney's first film, Snow White, might just become the marker of its latest collapse, and Rachel, while she's in Dubai, the real question is, will she come back, and more importantly, will anyone want her to? Can she fix the damage, or is her career, just like her film, already part of history?